Today we are on the 61st Shloka of Aparoksh Anubhuti. So if you have the text, do chant along with me. Yathaiva vyomni nilatvam yatha niram marusthale purushatvam yatha sthano tadvad vishvam chidatmani. The blueness in the sky, the mirage waters in the desert, and the form of man seen in a post are illusory. So too, the universe seen in the absolute consciousness, the self, is illusory. So we are studying this beautiful text called Aparoksh Anubhuti, which you know is written, composed by Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya. So what exactly is the meaning of Aparoksh Anubhuti? You already know. It means the direct experience, Aparoksh Anubhuti, direct experience of what? Of the truth. Which truth? The truth of what this universe is. The truth of who am I? In fact, the truth of what we all are. So the Vedas tell us that this Jagat that we see is mithya. It's an illusion. And our concept of who we are, our concept, our notion of what this universe is, what this world is a wrong idea. And in Aparoksh Anubhuti, Bhagwan Adi Shankaracharya very carefully exposes these wrong notions that we have about ourselves and about the universe, and very logically, very rationally explains to us the right way of seeing the world and, of course, the right way of seeing ourselves. So why is it that if what we are experiencing, what we are seeing and perceiving about the world, about ourselves, the way we see ourselves, if it is not the truth, then why is it that the human being who is supposed to be the topmost creation in the universe is not able to see the true nature of the world and our own true nature? Why? What is this that is blocking us from seeing our true self? So in this shloka, by giving these few examples of blueness in the sky, mirage waters in the desert, form of man seen in the post, through these few Vedantic examples, Bhagwan will explain to us why we also do not see the world as it is actually supposed to be. So the first reason is limitation of our senses. So the way we believe what exists in the world depends on how we see it and how we experience it with our five senses. You know that, right? So everything that we perceive in the world and around us is through the five senses. That is why science is also called an empirical, it goes on empirical evidence. That means data is collected through observation. It is probably experimented upon. And after that, it is proven to be right. So according to science, anything that can be proved through experiments of the data, which is collected by the five sense organs, is considered to be true. But you and I know that everything that the five senses can perceive is not the only truth. There are things which exist which are not able to be perceived by the five senses, right? There are things which we cannot see, but they exist. There are things which we cannot hear, but they exist. There are things which you cannot smell, taste, or touch, but they exist. And the example I always use are the microwave ovens, the waves in the microwave ovens. We can see the oven, but we cannot see the waves. But the waves exist. That is why the food we put in the microwave oven becomes hot. So we know the waves exist, yet the five senses cannot perceive them. Therefore, we can say that this world is only limited to what we can perceive, or our notion of the world is limited by whatever the five senses can perceive. So the first reason why we do not see the universe as it really is, we do not see ourselves as we really are. Why? Because our senses are inadequate. Our senses are limited to perceive the truth. So that is the first reason you cannot depend on your five senses to see the truth of yourself and of the universe. It's illusory. What the five senses can tell us, therefore, is that whatever is seen is not the only truth. Okay, let's go to another example. Is it only the senses, the five sense organs that trick us, that are limited? No, the mind also is limited. The mind also tricks us, in the dark. Again, a very classical example given in the Vedas. In the dark, as it is, we feel afraid of the dark, because in the dark, things are unknown. You see something on the floor, it is only a rope, but we think it is a snake. And the fear which is there of the unknown, the fear which is there in the mind of the darkness, makes us feel afraid and see a rope which has turned now into a snake. When the light comes on, what do we say? We say the snake has disappeared. What a wrong statement that is. Snake has disappeared? No, it was never there. It was never there in the first place. It hasn't disappeared. It was not there before also. It was not there while you were seeing it also. And it is not there after the light has come on. Therefore, that thought you had, that fear you had, that unknown factor, all that is not true. Just as the snake is not true, out of the unknown factor of not knowing what is there, you thought it was the snake. In the same way, ignorance that we have in our mind is compared to darkness. And because that ignorance is there, we are afraid of the unknown and we want to only see what is known. So in the same way as the snake was an illusion, our mind also sees this world as an illusion. It also sees ourselves, which is an illusion, as reality. Let's take another optical illusion. When you are traveling, let's say, in a desert or on a very hot road, you are thirsty. The mind wants to feel satiated by water. It's a hot day, and in the distance, you see something that looks like water. It's a mirage. We have also talked about this earlier. There's no water there, but it looks like water. What we are seeing is an illusion of water. So why is it that that water is there? What makes us see that water? So the scientists give us an explanation. It seems that when the light comes from the sun, it just spreads through all the gases which are in the environment, hot air, gas and cold air. Both airs are there, and it has to pass through the hot and through the cold. And because of that different temperatures, the sunlight gets bent, it gets refracted, and the reflection of the sky falls on the ground looking like water. It's just a shimmering reflection of the sky, and it looks like water. There is no water, but it appears to be water. Therefore, the point we are saying is that whatever is perceived by the five senses, whatever is feared or felt by the mind, none of that is actually the truth. So whatever we are seeing in the universe, the true nature of the universe, the true nature of the person is actually Atma. But we are seeing it as a reflection, and we are calling ourselves human beings. We are calling this universe as real universe, reality. Okay, let's think a little bit about the sky. From where we stand, when we look up at the sky, we see, wow, beautiful blue sky. We call the sky blue. It looks like a nice, beautiful blue dome. Is the sky really blue in color? No, the sky is not blue in color. Again, scientific research has shown us that the sky is not really blue in color. It's because the blue color, which is there in that sunlight, scatters more fast because of the shorter waves that the blue color has. And therefore, it appears to be blue. But if you go, and all scientists who have gone into outer space, they will tell you very clearly, they have experienced that the sky is not at all blue, that beautiful blue color. All the authors, all the artists, all the painters, they say, oh, this blue sky, they paint the sky blue. And because everyone has believed that the sky is blue, we also have the notion, we also have the concept, we believe, our intellect believes the sky is blue. But actually, it is not. So, in the same way, whatever we are perceiving with our senses, whatever we are perceiving with the mind, whatever we are believing with the intellect, there is impurity in this equipment. Therefore, it is not telling us the real truth. Our intellect, our mind, and our senses are limited and inadequate to perceive the reality of this universe and the reality of our identity. Just like the scientists had to go into outer space to experience the actual color of the sky and demolish that notion that the sky is blue in color, we also have to fly into one mind space, into a heart space, into an experiential space where we will be able to experience our true nature, who we are, and the true nature of this universe. And what is that true nature? The Vedas tell us clearly that true nature of myself, of yourself, of this entire universe is absolute Brahma. How will we believe it? By moving into that inner space and experiencing it by Aparoksh Anubhuti. Right now, what are we believing? We are believing that we are humans and we are made up of a body, a mind, and an intellect, right? But the truth is, we are not humans and we are sitting in a satsang and having a spiritual experience. This is a very common quote. I will quote it for you. We are not humans having a spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having an illusory human experience. I add the word illusory because this is actually not the truth. this is an illusion. Of course, difficult to understand, but once you have that experience, you will understand, you will see clearly, and that is what the entire spiritual journey is all about. More on this next Thursday with Aparoksh Anubhuti.